What is up, everybody? Welcome to Omnic Lab. This is episode 103. We are a podcast that focuses on the strategy inside the game of Overwatch. Particularly, we do it in a lab-like format where we invite special guests that know a lot more about the game than Arrges and I do. But we love doing the game breakdowns on our own and what our personal experiences are as the layman, I guess you could say, down from Diamond and below. But we have some experts here that kind of know the ins and outs of each hero, each map, and even some pros along the way. And so this week, we're actually doing the Rework Hanzo discussion. And so we brought back our favorite Finn, Arrge. Arrge, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I had so much fun last time.
You know, the Outlaws love to say that Finland's gift to esports was Linkser, but we have another gift of esports. We have Arrge, inducer of rage from headshots. So my name's Rob. I'm coming in from Japan. For those of you who are here because of Arrge's stream, you may not know us, but you may know him very well. And also we have my co-host Andres from Georgia. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be back over here with Arrge, the man from the land of the hydraulic press. I will never forget that. That was the way he introduced himself the first time, and I thought it was hilarious.
The best. So we're gonna just kind of give you guys a little bit of who's sponsoring us and some things that we got to get out of the way for the housekeeping, and then we'll get right into the discussion, shall we? So let's do it. First up is the game night announcement is going to be May 25th, 2018. If you guys want to show up, you're a Twitch sub of ours, you're a member of the community, or you just heard of us today, you can join our Discord and jump in at any point during the day on the 25th, and we have a game night, and you can come in. We'll have a bunch of lobbies open. It basically just ends up being a bunch of competitive games with anyone from Grandmaster to Bronze, and we mix up the teams, and you kind of get a couple unfair games trying to figure out who's what and what rank, and some people that are in Silver are actually pretty good, and some people that are in Diamond are pretty bad, and kind of just mix them up, and you get some fun games going. So, and everybody's there to learn and to experience what it's like playing with different levels of play. And so it's a lot of fun doing that and mastering different heroes and kind of playing in a competitive environment with heroes maybe you're not normally wanting to go jump in a rank to go try. So that's the game night. We also have a special sponsor of our show called Top Score Solutions, which is from Ben, or aka I Need Peeling. He offers free business consultations within esports. So this is coaches, team starting, developing apps and services, boosting a subscriber base, or maybe you just want to work into esports. You can find him on topscoresolutions.com, Topscore Esports on Twitter, or you can join his Discord server, finding that link on his website. Ben has master's in sports management, and he also has lots of business and marketing experience. He's one who got me hooked in with a team to go do some coaching for Overwatch Open, and it's a lot of fun. But that is only one subsection of that community. You can do lots of other things, not just coaching. So go check him out. Also, we have Omnic Meta. So Switch from Omnic Meta does a lot of those stat breakdowns. He was on the show last week. He is actually he's got a Hanzo rework page that he's going to be kicking off here pretty soon. Has been working on it. I'm not quite sure if it's out to the public yet. He kind of gave us a little teaser to go check out and kind of sample on some of the formatting and make sure everything looks good. But you should be seeing that in the next couple days. And if you're listening to the audio version of this and not watching the live stream, you should already have seen it. And Andres, you want to cover our diamond sponsors on patreon.com/OmnicLab.
Do you think? Also, yeah, and make sure you check out that article from Switch coming out. I had a sneak peek on it, and it's really interesting. The new numbers that the new Hanzo's pulling out. I'm sure you'd be interested in that, Arrge, because it's all good news for Hanzo fans. Also, special thanks to our diamond sponsors. We have Ben K, Britmus, Chris the Playa, Golden Soldier A, Great Root Bear, Jen Jinkle, Jeffy, Jeff D, Lysum, Neverclutch, Ray, Roger B, Ricky Dicky, Shazir, Scantily Clad, Top Score Solutions, of course, and Tragic Sack. We also have one new patron, John D. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are super awesome. You guys keep the lights on over here. Thanks so much for the support, and hopefully we can get some more people joining in.
Yes, that is absolutely true. So we also have a brand new patron with John D joining the crew. We'll get into iTunes reviews and how you can support the show that way at the end of the show, but we've taken enough of the time at top. Arrge, talk to us again real quick, just for people who are new to the show, but not new to you. Maybe they're from the stream, but I guess in the backlog, it's always good to have somebody like reintroducing themselves. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you like to play, and what got you into the hero.
So I started playing Overwatch in the open beta. So that was even before competitive mode was released. And then, well, like, I think it was like 1.5 years ago, I started making YouTube videos, or maybe even 2 years ago. How long has Overwatch been out now?
It's like about 2 years.
Almost 2
We're about to
years,
go
yeah.
to the second anniversary, like in a week or two, I believe.
Yeah, so like about 2 years ago, I started making videos on YouTube. And then like, I'd say 16 months ago, I started streaming. And it's been amazing. It changed my life. Hanzo, maining Hanzo changed my life. For
You
better
know-
or the worse, I don't know, but it's
You know-
A little bit of both, probably.
yeah. But yeah, like the reason why I started maining Hanzo might even be I don't know if you guys have played Mountain Blade. It's like this
I haven't,
medieval
no.
game, and there's obviously a bow in there that you can shoot, and that was like my favorite weapon. I played that game like 2,000 hours.
Oh,
then
nice. So
when I
you had
got
been
into-
training with
Whoa.
a bow and arrow for a long time.
Yeah. Then when I got into Overwatch, first I would say Zarya main, but then at like the end half of season 1, I decided to just start playing Hanzo mostly.
Okay.
Nice. You've recently had some success with the stream too. You were telling me you had a few hosts over there the other day.
Fat hosts.
Oh yeah, yesterday I got a host from Rex for like 6,300 viewers.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
dude. From the
Whoa.
Grandmaster
That's a
Hanzo
big
himself.
Yeah, he has actually hosted me like 6 times, maybe 5 times. So, but
Do you
like, that
guys-
was-
do
that
you
was
guys
the
ever-
biggest host ever?
Do you guys ever talk about Hanzo or exchange tips here and there?
Not really. It's usually, the Hanzo mains are the quiet types without communicating. We
But
don't
they still stick
communicate on the
together.
battlefield with arrows.
Well, you
actually,
Raxu doesn't post to EU though, right? He plays NA.
No.
You just happen to stream pretty NA friendly.
Yeah, and I also played on NA for the first time this season. Today, and
Whoa.
I was playing against Raxu, and of course it was a draw.
What? That's crazy.
That's awesome. Well, what do you think about the new Hanzo? Before we get into the nitty gritty of things, what are your personal opinions? Because you're one of the people that has played this hero the most. You probably have more hours on Hanzo than I have on every other hero in the game. So, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I have like 1,700 hours Hanzo.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah, but I feel like the rapid fire combined with lunge ability plus arrow speed increase, it makes Hanzo much stronger and much more reliable. This problem with scatter is that if you miss it, then you're gonna die if someone dives you. There's
Right.
nothing you can do.
Or even if you're trying to put pressure on the enemy team, right? If the enemy team is advancing forward, scatter is a great way to deal damage to a lot of targets. But it's very inconsistent, right? And like you said, the second you miss it, that burst damage is gone, and then your team is left with very semi-inconsistent damage.
Yeah.
But
And the
go ahead.
problem with scatter, for example, first when Chunker Town came out, my first experience with the map was that about 75% of my scatters went 180 degrees into the wrong direction because I would hit some weird corner of the map or some pavement. And the
Right.
scatter would just bounce to the wrong direction. It's
It
just,
was very hard to control, yeah.
yeah.
Well, now that Storm Arrow is out, how do you feel about the ability? Do you feel like it's too good? How do you feel like the new Hanzo is? Do you think that now that it's mainstream, are you have to gonna have to go main May or something like that?
I think rapid fire is kind of like when it comes to Pharah with damage boost, it just becomes insanely strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like rapid fire is 80 damage without on a body shot and 160 with a headshot. But if you're damage boosted, it's 200 damage, so it's a instant kill if you
Instant
hit.
kill most heroes. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we talked earlier. No one's really sure if it's actually 3 or 4 arrows per second, but technically you could kill 3 supports and the DPS player in 1.2 seconds if you hit headshots.
Yeah. Well, it's happened to me before when I was trying out the hero. I think I was playing it on Rialto on the PTR. And I just remember the enemy team was on the payload. And I just turned on Storm Arrow and kind of just fire at them. And the Reinhardt just happened to like drop his barrier at that point for some reason. And I just got like 3 kills. I wasn't even aiming that much, just shooting at them, and everyone died.
Now, I was gonna ask you this, Arrge, because I've been seeing this dichotomy of even just like high level and low level Hanzos just like utilizing storm arrows on cooldown because it's that much damage into either barriers or heroes or tanks or whatever. But the higher up I see Hanzo play, the more I see people activating storm arrows and not like just holding the button down and burning all 6 arrows right away. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I guess the
I
reason
know
why
it's
you
really
wouldn't
situational though.
I guess the reason why I wouldn't shoot all of them at like in a row is if you're not confident that you're gonna hit all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to shoot them out as fast as possible because the cooldown doesn't start before you shoot all of them. So let's say I shoot.
Still worth.
Yeah, let's say I shoot 3 arrows and get 1 pick. I'd rather shoot the remaining 3 at the shield to deal some damage so that I can get the cooldown starting. Since one of the strongest thing about the rapid fire is that if you do 1 fully charged normal arrow, hit a body shot, that's 125 damage. And then you can do 1 really fast rapid fire shot with a body shot and it's 200 damage. So it's free pick.
So you're trying to land a regular shot and then go into arrows after that?
Yeah.
For the burst? Okay.
And for example, let's say there's a Pharah. It's not really value to go for rapid fire shots. It's much better to just try to go for the headshot or 1 body shot first and then the rapid fire.
Yeah. And I've noticed also when you activate it at really close range, the ability feels almost hit skinny. If you're close enough, you're not leading your shots as much, but like straight up just firing at them.
Yeah, they increased the arrow speed. I think it was by like 18%. So if you're really close up, it's pretty much like playing McCree at that point.
I was about to say that, like, yeah, Hanzo feels a lot like McCree's damage output with the Storm Arrow at that range. It's really interesting because they both feel very similar. Also, we've mentioned the article from Switch, and he does a very interesting damage comparison in that article where he grabs a lot of data, and Hanzo's damage output with the Storm Arrow is very similar to that of Pharah or Junkrat. So it's pretty high up there in terms of damage output, which is completely opposite from what he used to be. He used to be one of the lowest damage output heroes in the game.
Now, how do you maintain the constant pressure on shields, which is something that is getting to be a lot more difficult as we move into more of a Zarya-centric meta, where you're trying to like not kill the shield because you're giving the Zarya charge, but then you kind of have to wait, and you start with all of those things with like Reinhardt barriers and Orisa barriers. And I know that I've been utilizing storm arrows. Like I'll use regular rounds to try to get the first Orisa shield down, and then burn storm arrows into the second barrier, so they're just out a barrier for a long time, and you can potentially just catch Orisas with their pants down. But with Reinhardt's, they like to pump their shield, so it may not be, depending on where you're at, of course, you may just want to try to time your arrows between the shield drops, right?
Yeah, I mean, I usually, if I feel like the enemy team is not gonna just rush in, I usually just shoot the rapid fire at the shield to try to deal as much damage on it, since it's in this current meta, it's pretty much just a shield battle. Who loses the
right? You're trying to you're trying to help out your team break the shield, which Hanzo is pretty good now at doing. Well, he's always been with scatter, honestly.
And like the trick is to shoot at head level, like shoot at the Reinhardt shield head through the shield. So if he drops the shield, or let's say the Brigitte stuns Reinhardt, the Reinhardt should pretty much actually die if I'm damage boosted and shooting at the head when Brigitte stuns the Reinhardt.
That's a really good tip, and not just for Hanzo, but for a lot of heroes in general. I see a lot of people shooting at the shield, but they'll just shoot at a random part of the shield. You might as well also shoot at the heads of the targets you want to shoot behind the shield, just in case the shield breaks or Reinhardt drops it. It's a really good habit, for example, with Widowmaker. Even if you're spamming the shield, just click ahead behind it, because you never know. Sometimes that Reinhardt drops the shield at that second, and boom, there goes the Mercy.
Yeah, a good indicator is that how long has it been since the last fire strike. So just the longer it's been, the more I start focusing on just shooting someone through the shield, trying to get lucky in case he does a fire strike.
How does...
Okay, let's try to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, how has the change to Stormbow, the change in damage and loading up the arrows, the travel speed of the arrows, how has that affected your playstyle? Was it weird in the beginning? Did you have to have an adaptation period, or did you get used to it pretty fast and now you're like, oh my god, this is OP?
I mean, the first thing I did when it came into PTR, after I tested it out, I just shot at Lucio bots in a custom game for 2 hours in a row, trying to get it into my brain. And I even did it on stream, just shooting bots on for 2 hours. But we were got kind of salty at that point, so. But yeah, it took a long time to get used to it, and I still haven't gotten used to Sonic Arrow. Like since the area is. The radius is much smaller. I still shoot it into a spots where it should show the person, but he's actually too far away from the new radius.
Gotcha.
So
I hadn't even thought about that.
Use for that?
Yeah.
Or are you
Sonic
finding
Arrow
new places for it?
So like Sonic Arrow kind of used to be more like shoot it in the general direction and it will show everything. But
right.
Now you kind of have to know. Okay, there's someone at the left corner of the map. I'm gonna shoot it there so I can pre-fire him if he peeks and stuff like that.
So let's talk a little bit now about the new lunge and mobility, escape, chasing, dodging, and also there is some really cool things that you can use in maps where there is some form of like upper level skybox or building geometry that you can actually hop over. Using this combined with your wall climb. You want to talk about that a little bit? Maybe some of your favorite new spots, or how you've been trying to exploring maps and just like, oh, this is a cool flank.
Yeah, I mean, with the lunge, like Hanzo pretty much becomes a flanker now, especially in the new meta where there's if the enemy team doesn't have Hanzo, they probably have no hero that can contest me on the high ground. So for example, on the Hanamura A-point attack, I can just walk to the left side to the roof. That's like to the left
little
of the
window
choke point if you're attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through the window and into the roof, and then I eventually get picks, and there's nothing they can do about it unless they have a Hanzo that's gonna contest me. And even then, I still have the high ground advantage, so it's much easier for me to kill the Hanzo.
Right.
Mm.
How do you feel against Widowmakers now? How's that battle for you?
The lower Sonic arrow cooldown actually makes it kind of easier to have the 1v1s. But it's
Because you can actually pre-fire them, whereas they have
Yeah.
to, you know, they have to jump in the peak and hit you.
that's actually like a tiny downside of the arrow speed increase is that before the arrow would take 18% longer to hit the widow, so I could like safely peek right as she stops peeking, and then she will peek right into the arrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Widow and Hanzo are opposites in how they do it. Like the style they both play that 1v1. Widow wants to come out real quick, get that shot real fast, get out of there. But Hanzo, on the other hand, he's trying to play like a hide and seek game. He's trying to pre-fire the arrow before the Widow peeks out so that his head is in cover by the time that she peeks out, and then the arrow lands on her head as she is like peeking around the corner. But that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that that was kind of like a detriment for you, because that makes sense. The arrow would hit the wall before the Widow peeks out at that moment.
And like the fast arrow speed still has its upsides against the Widow, since usually it's a very long range battle against a Widow with Hanzo. So if it's like a straight up no cover 1v1, it's much better to have faster arrows.
Do you find yourself winning that duel often, or does it really come down to who's the Widow you're playing against?
I mean, obviously, it's pretty much who the Widow is that I'm playing against. There's all sorts of cool tricks you can do. Like, I like to time my movement so that when I think that she's gonna fire, I'm gonna turn to the right really fast and look straight up to move my head hitbox as much as possible to dodge the shot.
Oh, awesome! That's a good trick.
That usually gets most Widow mains.
Do you want to talk more about how you're jumping with your lunge a little bit more? I know that getting over buildings is like one of the cool things, right? Because you can use it to flank and get into interesting areas because you're combining it with the wall climb, right? But like the other thing that a lot of people have been using is basically it's functioning as that tool plus the disengage when you get dove, and it basically helps you survive like insta death that normally wouldn't happen. Now you can kind of disengage, activate storm arrows, and a tank is melted.
Yeah, that's like most people don't even know this, but if a Winston jumps on you and you jump at the exact same time as he lands on you, you get knocked back. And now you can even combine it with the lunge and just get an insane
jump,
disengage jump away from the Winston.
Yeah, that's a really nice tip, and it works for every hero. It's especially good for supports, for example, or guys like McCree. Zenyatta is a really good example. The second Winston jumps on you, you just jump in the air and you get shoved away pretty far. And I can imagine the Hanzo with the new jump. You can probably reach some pretty good height with that thing.
Now, when you're positioning yourself with the new build of Hanzo, have you found that yourself in situations where you fundamentally need to change your approach to certain styles of map? For example, like Koth or Payload. Sometimes I've seen, I've seen a Hanzo kind of position a little bit more where a McCree might. They stick closer to the tank when they're moving the cart or when they're kind of setting up for a fight, because when the Hanzo's next to the Reinhardt, you're providing a lot more shield pressure in the Rein v Rein, I guess, matchup, and you can also disengage out of there like a McCree roll, but yours is a little bit further. How have you really been changing your positioning with the new kit?
There's this thing, I don't know if it's true, but like people keep saying that, for example, Raxu plays more defensively and I play more aggressively. So it kind of also depends on the player how they play. And for me, it's my positioning is pretty much based on what my team picks and what the enemy team picks. Is like, for example, if we have a Widow in the team, I'm always gonna try to go for a flank. So I'll shoot the Reinhardt from behind so that he has to turn around, or just take my arrows in the back. But if it's just like a shield battle, with me being the only DPS, usually I'll try to stand behind the Reinhardt shield, especially if they have a sniper of their own, and then just kill the shield faster than they can. Like, especially if they have a Widow with a solo DPS.
Right. And
they're pretty much gonna lose the shield battle.
It's an interesting meta right now because you actually get to see Widows and Hanzos as single DPS for like the first time ever in the history of Overwatch. And sometimes you even see Hanzo and Widow on the same team, and you can work with that right now. And people don't freak out. It's like really like we're living in some parallel universe or something.
I mean, I gotta admit that I usually freak out a bit when we have double sniper, because I've never really liked that combination, because the enemy team will only have to focus on dodging the sniper shots and staying behind cover, and that's it. So it's like two snipers make it harder for both of them to get any picks.
But I really love what you said, though, that the second that you have the two snipers in the team, you assume a different playstyle. And instead of staying behind your Reinhardt shield or with the team, you get into a more flanky style, which you can do with Hanzo, right? With his wall climb, with a new lunge, you can actually get to some pretty good sniping spots and hit him from the back, forcing the Reinhardt to have to focus in the two places, which is a huge help for your Widow, because there's nothing worse than when you can only shoot at the shield as Widow.
Yeah. And but like the reason why I don't really like that is because I feel like having a Widow and a Hanzo kind of makes the rest of the team useless. Like, they have nothing to do. They're not gonna break the shield. No one's gonna break the shield.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much just waiting for me to make a play, so that everyone can do stuff.
To somebody to clutch it, yeah. Well, how about the new compositions that are being played right now? How do you feel about the triple support with a Hanzo DPS? Or if you had to pick another DPS to combine with you, which ones do you like?
I mean, triple support, it's amazing but like there is this weird effect that's happening now with triple support, is that even though we have 3 supports, I don't get pocketed or even get any peels. So usually I think it's Brigitte, Lucio, Zenyatta, I guess, as triple support.
Yeah, or sometimes they put a Mercy instead of the Lucio, but yeah, you can see those iterations.
The Mercy pick makes the triple support combination insanely strong, at least for me. But other heroes that would work well with triple support or with me and double support, me on Hanzo and double support, would be like, I'd say Pharah could work, but then Pharah is gonna steal my Mercy pocket. So
yeah, she's gonna steal some of your attention for sure.
That's actually a really annoying thing, is that there's so many Hanzo mains, Hanzo one tricks now.
Oh yeah,
like I pride myself on being the fastest Hanzo picker in the whole world. But so the other Hanzo main usually picks Pharah and steals the pocket, and then I get nothing.
Those damn Pharah mains.
Yeah,
that's hilarious though, because right now you do have to be really fast on the draw to pick that Hanzo. We always make fun of our teammate Deathblow because he doesn't have Overwatch in his SSD, so it takes forever for him to load. He always gets his Hanzo pick stolen.
I actually even have like a piece of tape on the bottom of my monitor, so I know the exact position of where the Hanzo is in the hero selection screen.
You're
skew the
serious
mouse
about
in
it,
that
man.
location?
Woo.
Yeah, it was an idea from one of my
Oh,
viewers.
jeez.
That's the real tip on how to play Hanzo, boys. You gotta be ready to pick him.
Actually, I thought about doing that when Moira released because I was like really, really into playing her, and man, that was funny. Oh, geez. For those of you on the live stream, sorry guys, I literally just tripped the power, so I I thought I blew a breaker, but I'm back. Sorry about that, Andres, for the live stream. It's
No,
probably
no
freaked
worries.
everyone out.
We had a great conversation with Arrge.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and
Go
I
ahead.
think like a new problem that I found with playing on American servers with the high ping is that it's much harder to pick Hanzo first because there's that extra 150 milliseconds of ping. So I actually had
Yeah,
a match yesterday where I pick Hanzo, but then it gets unpicked because the American Hanzo had lower ping and he picked it.
Oh,
faster,
that's what
technically.
happens. That has happened to me before. I'm like, what? I picked Hanzo. What happened here? I hadn't realized it's Doodoo Ping. That makes a lot of sense.
So, all right. Here's what I want to break down a little bit more. When you're playing Hanzo, what is your natural prey in the wild? Like, what is it that you're looking for? And then on top of that, who is above you in the food chain in this scenario? Because right now it feels like Hanzo can go toe to toe with almost anything, with the new missile speed on Pharah being a lot less of a bad matchup for you, unless she's like way up, way past in the skybox.
Well, like the
Even
hardest heroes to fight is probably like a Brigitte. If there's a Brigitte within 10 meters of me, I'm just gonna run away. That's I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to 1v1 a Brigitte unless I'm like 20 meters away.
This is so funny because that's almost every DPS right now. I think that every DPS that sees a Brigitte, they're just like, nah, I'm just gonna look somewhere else.
Pass.
Yeah, but like, I don't understand why people find Brigitte so like that she needs to be nerfed and stuff like that, because like I thought that was the idea of Brigitte, is that you can't dive her and she's really good at peeling divers. So like Brigitte is not overpowered as long as you stay away from her.
Right.
Okay, well, what about what you want to go and actually start focusing? Like, I know that we've talked a little bit about the shield battle and trying to grab somebody behind the shield when it does go down, but if you're presented with a couple equal options, right? Like you actually get to the high ground and you're trying to find what you're looking for, and there are multiple options. Because normally you just kind of shoot what's there and what you can shoot, right? But like when you get into scenarios where you actually need to pick, how are you going to choose what to target?
Well, if we have double DPS, I might still just spam the shield to try to win the shield war, because if they lose the Reinhardt shield and we still have ours, we can just push on them and kill them for free. But if I'm the only DPS, and I don't know, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Usually if I feel like my aim is insanely good, I might just ignore the shield and try to go for picks, maybe like even lunge over the shield to get a fast pick. But yeah, like maybe the safest thing is to always just shoot at the shield, make sure that you win the shield battle, because you're at least going to have a Zarya, maybe even a Zenyatta. So the enemy team losing their shield is the biggest win you can have in a team fight for free.
Right now, yeah, we're kind of reverted to that like season 2, season 3 death ball style kind of thing, where the shield battle is kind of like the most important thing nowadays. You're trying to break that quick. You're trying to move in as fast as possible, whether it's an Orisa or a Reinhardt. And being able to win that battle is huge for your team, because then, yeah, that means that you can get to put the pressure before the other team does to you. And Hanzo, honestly, he's a good shield buster I've been talking to my teammates about it, about trying to keep the Hanzo with the team a little more instead of having him like do the normal on the side kind of flanking that we're used to with Scatter, where he was just trying to find angles on the sides, scatter real quick, then come back. Now Hanzo is actually can be a really good team player and can put the pressure behind the Rhine Shield. And I'm glad to hear it from you, you know, because it does help with Hanzo's on the training.
And if you shoot one normal arrow plus the rapid fire and your damage boosted, that's like almost 800 damage in 2 seconds to the shield. So
yeah, that's insane.
Especially if you have a Zenyatta who's gonna do a full right click at the shield at the same time before the enemy team can even start shooting at our shield. There's no way they can win the shield battle anymore.
Right, unless they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which nowadays is very common. Let's talk about your ultimate nowadays, because an old combo is seeing a resurgence. Graviton plus Hanzo Dragon. It's kind of like the new hotness again. Everyone's doing it. It's hard to stop. You can even eat through transcendences, even if your Hanzo is boosted. What do you think of the combo nowadays? Do you try to do it? Saryas are kind of coming back again. Do you think there's a good way to stop it for the enemy team?
I mean, the combo is, especially if I don't have a Mercy in the team, it's pretty much the only thing that can kind of win the team fight fast. Like I had a game yesterday where we didn't have Zenyatta or Mercy. So what ended happening is that nothing died. So I got 45,000 damage done in the match and did like 24 ultimates.
Oh, wow.
So
Jeez.
but like if we had a Mercy, I would have done less damage because the enemies would have always died when I got the shots in.
So what is it that you would want out of your Mercies in that scenario to be boosting or be aware of when you're firing? Because I know they can't just like sit there with damage beam on you the whole game, for example.
That's
even though they want to be.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like that's what kind of pisses me off is that why can't the Mercy damage boost me for the whole game? If she can damage boost the Pharaoh for the whole game, wow, what's the problem with damage boosting me? But the problem is that like what I see usually happening is that we're fighting a shield battle, and the Reinhardt drops his shield to throw the fire strike, and it takes like 100 damage in the process. And what happens is that the Mercy stops damage boosting me and is like, I need to heal everyone. And then she starts healing the Reinhardt, even though we have 2 other supports. Like the Zenyatta has no one else to heal except the Reinhardt. But the Mercy is still going to stop damage boosting me, making it harder for us to win the shield battle.
So in a scenario with a triple support, you think ideally you want the Mercy basically boosting the Hanzo as much as possible and having the Brigitte and Zen or whichever other healer they have focus on everyone else?
Yeah. It's just like the enemy team is, if they're not going for the shield, they're going to try to pick me off since I'm the only DPS. So with damage boost, I could even do the same and just ignore the shield and push more aggressively, peek, just get picks, and just don't care about the shield at all.
Yeah, and like right now it's really interesting because I think that Hanzo still has a stigma, and I'm reading from chat over here that some people kind of have encountered that, where you're still getting out of that bitter taste that Hanzo had left in some people's mouth, right? Like he had a bad reputation. The numbers are speaking great lengths about Hanzo. I really want people to check out that Omnic Meta article because it's really eye-opening on how much the rework of the hero itself has added to him. His damage is so much more consistent. He's good at breaking barriers. Doesn't feel like the old Hanzo at all. Like we've seen, his damage output is closer to that of a Farah and a Junkrat. When he's up close, he's feeling more like a McCree in style. So it really is a new hero, and I think that it might take some time for everyone in the general public to be like, oh, okay, Hanzo is actually very useful in a lot of situations right now. Maybe a little too useful because right now he's outnumbering a lot of the other DPS. Poor McCree doesn't even see playstyle anymore.
No, I mean, McCree has kind of been a niche pick for forever.
Yeah, for a while now. You do see it in Overwatch League pop up here and there, especially in certain maps, in the up close maps. But like I said, like nowadays, Hanzo can kind of take those battles as well.
Yeah, I actually heard they were talking that like, even though McCree gets picked in Overwatch League, he's just there to kind of meme around, and the Tracer is the hero that always makes the plays and gets the picks. And maybe the McCree will pop off once in a while, just trying to keep up the pressure.
Yeah, I did mention that to Pine. He'll pop off more than once here and there. But I definitely agree.
So when you're playing Hanzo in general, do you kind of feel like this new pressure now that you're gonna be in situations that you're kind of mono DPSing? Kind of just like, well, here we go. I gotta start killing people. If I don't do it, then nobody else is gonna do it. Unless our Zen just goes to town, frag central, you know.
Yeah, that's it's like a huge amount of stress sometimes, since I'm pretty much the person that's gonna have to kill the shield, kill the enemies, get picks to start the fight off. It's just it pisses me off how people still, with the triple support and having Saria and Brigitte, like they expect me to do all of this without actually pocketing me or peeling for me. Like I had a match yesterday in like 4.3k where the Mercy was completely ignoring me, even though I was the only DPS, and I couldn't get any picks because I was constantly low HP hiding. I was just trying to shoot at the shield, but they had 2 DPS, so they would win the shield battle every time. And then I'm like asking for heals or pocket or anything. And the answer I get is that maybe you should just try to get some picks first. Like I have to earn their respect to get any amount of help from the team.
It's like the leftover
We're not gonna heal you
residual effects of being a Hanzo main last season, right?
Yeah.
And like I've heard it all. Like before, it was like people complaining to me that I have to swap Hanzo because this is a team game and we have to play as a team and synergize. And now it's more like, well, I'm just gonna keep with my dive mindset and not care about the backline or the only DPS that we have. And if he doesn't perform without any team help, then he's a bad Hanzo.
That's true. We have a question here in the chat that I kind of want to touch for a little bit from the Jack Chicking. He asks, why do people say Tracer is useless in comp right now? And I will say it's not that she is useless. It's just that the playstyle of a lot of these compositions don't favor Tracer very much, especially when the enemy team has a Brigitte, like you guys have been saying over here. It's just very threatening for Tracer to try to get on the backline. And she's also not the best hero to just stand behind your shield and spam at the barrier, which is kind of what a lot of people have been doing. There's better heroes to do that, like Junkrat, Hanzo, even a Farah that might not even care about the barrier itself. So there's just a lot of things that haven't favored the playstyle of Tracer. Dive has kind of fallen out of favor. A lot of factors in here. But that being said, Tracer is still good as a hero itself, and depending what the enemy team is playing, you can still get away with a Tracer, just that certain compositions right now don't favor her, and you just have to be on the lookout for that. But what do you guys think about her in general? What do you think about Tracer, Arrge? Because I know that Hanzos can prey on Tracer sometimes.
I mean, Tracer has kind of always been a, like it just depends on who gets lucky. Like if I can get a scatter off on the Tracer, it's free kill. If I can get a headshot, it's a free kill, or like body shot plus melee from melee range. And now with the new rapid fire, even if you're not damage boosted, a rapid fire headshot is instant kill on the tracer.
Mhm.
And if you're damage boosted, you can just do a normal arrow body shot for an instant kill. And Brigitte, I'd say Brigitte is the main reason why tracer is useless. Like I'd go as far as to say that tracer is a horrible pick if the enemy team has a good Brigitte, because Brigitte can just one-shot tracer and there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
not
I
only
agree with
that, but Brigitte basically discourages Tracer from ever going into the backline, even to chase the Zen or the Mercy, because as long as there's a Brigitte standing close, one, there's a shield protecting them. Two, if you get up close and she's half decent, she'll just one-shot combo you to death.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like the only way you're gonna pick off a Zenyatta is by one clipping the Zenyatta instantly. If you're not gonna one clip the Zenyatta, then the Brigitte is gonna turn around and throw the armor pack, and then you need 2 more clips to kill the Zenyatta at that point.
Yeah, and any good Brigitte is gonna be looking out for you. The second she hears those blinks behind her, she's gonna turn around and be on the lookout. So it's just very hard to sneak on her.
We got lots of stuff going on in the chat between about 2 or 3 different folks, but we probably need to keep going. And Arrge, is there anything else that you would like to maybe address? I know that you have people in your chat like all day when you're streaming. Is there any like couple of those FAQ type questions that you're like, I get this question like 6,000 times a day, I have a bot for it. You know, what are some of those type of things that you know people are asking that aren't like, I guess, personal questions, or how long do you play Hanzo, or you know, stuff like that?
I mean, the question that I get asked the most is, are you better than Raxu? Is Raxu better than you? But
The answer is
love
yes.
drama.
Yes, he is. Because he's here sharing his knowledge.
Oh.
But yeah, it's actually like 90% of those people that are trying to ask me, am I better than Raxu? They're just gonna clip it and send it to Raxu, like my
Yeah,
answer.
pretty much.
He's trying to start some beef.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the question that I get asked more is like how to use rapid fire. That could maybe be like the main question.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How have you been using rapid fire?
Well, like the easiest way that doesn't really require much aim is by just the enemy. You know the enemy team is gonna come through a choke point, so I just shoot a sonic arrow into the choke, and then when they start funneling in, I just unload the whole rapid fire at head level. And let's say I have damage boost. That's gonna give me, if I shoot one normal arrow before that and then quickly a rapid fire, and they for some reason don't hold up shields and I only hit headshots, that's gonna give me 100% ultimate charge in 2 seconds, and I'm gonna get like 4 picks at least.
I've also seen people use it into Graviton when they don't have Dragon. On the rare
Yeah.
occasion that they don't have Dragon, they'll just be like, I'm gonna fire all my other arrows in there. Maybe I can get something.
Yeah,
No, that's actually a good tip here, is that if the enemy team has a Zenyatta, I try to align my ultimate so that I hit the Reinhardt and the Zenyatta, even if we have a Graviton. So then I'm gonna force them to use the
Transcendence.
Transcendence. And even if the Reinhardt doesn't die, like if the Reinhardt doesn't die, if he still keeps the shield up at some points, that means we are going to win the shield battle pretty much after it will break up pretty much.
So even if you do have Dragon, it's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, because like you're gonna break the shield during the Transcendence unless the Reinhardt starts swinging, but if the Reinhardt starts swinging, then he's gonna get still destroyed instantly because the rapid fire
there's a lot of damage.
Is so strong.
Plus the Hanzo Dragon.
this is something
And then you
a
can
little bit
just
more of a like an edge case thing maybe, but I was talking with a couple of my players on our team and they were telling me that they did some damage calculations. If Hanzo wasn't damage boosted, Dragon does 200 a second, but like if you look at the numbers for Transcendence healing, I'm trying to see if I can pull this up really quick. He basically said that it's a little bit less, or it's a little bit more healing than maybe a mercy beam on just everybody in the area. So if you're Graviton plus dragon, your team, just as long as they're following up damage on top of the dragon, then stuff's gonna die through Transcendence, and the only thing that's not gonna die is Zenyatta.
I think Transcendence is 300 HP per second healing.
I think you're right.
And Dragon is 200 damage with damage boost. Damage boost, that's 260 damage. So Transcendence will heal for 40. But like the enemy team can still survive if they have a Reinhardt shield.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's even more exaggerated with damage boost, which is what they were really talking about. It's like you really just damage boost it, and then you have Zenyatta just volley into the shield and use your storm arrows, and it's gone, and then you just have Reinhardt just swing a bunch of times and everything dies.
Yeah.
Usually something to keep in mind is the Transcendence can heal through the dragon, but it won't have enough healing to heal through everything else that is going at them. And usually the dragon is not the only thing that is being fired at them, right? You're still firing arrows. Your Zenyatta still firing his orbs. Your Reinhardt will be swinging at them as well. So there's a lot of damage coming in.
And if they don't have the shield, even if they use Transcendence in the grab, it's almost better to not use the ultimate and just go for rapid fire headshots, because it's gonna be one shots with
way
damage
faster.
Boost.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Like Transcendence does nothing against one shots, so
Feels
Yeah.
good, man.
Honestly, that's a big reason why I have been enjoying playing Widowmaker in this meta. One, because you get to stay away at range from the Brigitte, for example. And two, because headshots you can't heal through, right? And right now there's so much healing, there's so much armor going on that sometimes just that huge burst damage and just getting rid of the person right away, it's kind of like the most effective way to go. Hanzo can definitely do that as well, keeping the range, just getting a headshot and doing it. And it's kind of like the playstyle that's been playing out lately, right? Like huge burst of damage to get rid of somebody in this super death volley, super resistant, resilient comps.
All right, I think that's pretty much all that we had to talk with Arrge about this week. You can, if you want to see what's going on, he has been posting regularly on his YouTube page. You can watch him streaming regularly at what times? GMT probably would be good for everyone, yeah.
Yeah, I started like 2 p.m. GMT usually, so that's 5 p.m. my own time. Yeah. So yeah, 2 p.m. GMT, and I stream for like 6 to 10 hours usually.
So
that's every single day.
If you guys want to watch some high octane Hanzo play, definitely check out Arrge. He's very fun to watch. If you guys want to see a very good playstyle for a Hanzo player, now's the time to do it. Hanzo's the new hotness. He's actually a really good hero to pick right now. He does a ton of damage. He has a ton of utility with his new jumps with the Sonic Arrow. So if you've ever wanted to learn Hanzo, now is the time.
So let's read a couple iTunes reviews here. We got 2 coming in, one from Norway this week and one from the US. Mikkalsv, which I am just awful accent and terrible reading, but here we go. It says, great podcast to listen to as an Overwatch player. I'd think that it's interesting for people of most skill levels as they cover basic stuff and some more in-depth. It's a good mix of content. If you play at Diamond or lower, I guarantee you'll learn some new things. If you play at the higher, you'll probably be a little bit more obvious to you, but you'll still find something new, I think. If you're stuck anywhere rated ladder, on the rated ladder, then I would absolutely look for answers here. You can even have your games evaluated if you donate for the podcast. That's correct. And our Patreon page, if you are at a certain level, then the perk is that you can send in a VOD and Andres or I will take a look at it, and you can have your choice as to which host. If not, both of us can take a look at it as well. Additionally, we have 3K GT96 from US. Says found the show about a week ago. Well, welcome. Thanks for stopping by and listening to it on his or her commutes. Great podcast with lots of useful tips, and the hosts are friendly and relatable. The older episodes have aged well, and you can use their prior tips from the Going Deep Hero Review episodes in today's Heroes. Listening to the podcast has improved my gameplay through the little tips and the trips and some of the masteries and the strategy podcasts. Thanks, guys, and keep it up. I will spread the word. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you guys want to do that, you can head over to iTunes and just drop us a line, and we'll read iTunes reviews on the show. It's been a pretty dry patch. Like us getting 1 or 2 a week is pretty good week now. So if you guys want to give us a couple, let us know. We get them anywhere in the world. Doesn't have to be US. And iTunes reviews are tough because you can only get one. You can only get one, so per person. If you can, make maybe an iTunes account and run over there. If you're listening on Google, it is a free account to make, so it's really, really helpful to us. That being said, I think it's time to close the show. Arrge, where can people find you, and what is your stream, and how do you spell it?
So my Twitch, twitch.tv/Arrge, that's ARRGE. And of course, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ARRGE. And then my Twitter handle is ARRGEOW. And Snapchat Hanzi Main with an I.
Hanzi Main.
Oh, that's great.
Oh dear, too much. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm just gonna give people some more things to plug. If you guys want to find our website, it's at omniclab.com. You can find us on our Discord server if you go down in the Twitch stream, there's buttons for everything. You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/omniclab. We got merch, we got Twitter, we got Facebook. If you want to find the Discord server, it's discord.me/omniclab. We got a 24-hour community. Some folks from Australia, some folks from EU, some folks from NA, all of that, especially with the NA ults that I've been seeing in my games. There's plenty of us there. And if you guys want to join and hang out there, you can also ping me and Arrges in the Discord, and we'll try to get back with you when we can. Arrges, where can people find you?
If you want to personally find me, you can look me up on Twitter at iPlayGames. You spell that IPLAI Games. And you can also find me talking and hosting the Owl Recap. If you are into Overwatch League and want to keep up with everything that's going on over there, you can always follow the show. We go through all the news, matches, results. We have guests. We have casters from the Overwatch League, analysts. We've had Uber, Sideshow. I think that this upcoming week we're going to have another. I can't reveal just yet because it hasn't been confirmed. But we're going to have one of the casters coming in from Overwatch League discussing Stage 4. So make sure to check that out if you're into that.
All right, I think that's going to do it for the show, guys. It's been a great episode. Arrge, thanks for joining us. And you're welcome here anytime Hanzo gets reworked or decides to go on a rampage yet again. I'm sure we'll probably have you back for a map mastery if you find a Hanzo map that you're like, I got to talk about it. So we can do that as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the live show. And I believe after this, if you are here, Arrge is going straight back to the streaming schedule. So go check him out and watch the stream. That's going to be it. Don't be a lab rat, be a scientist. We'll see you guys next week. And I have a very cool guest that I can't tell you about yet because we haven't locked it in, but really, really cool guy. Hopefully you guys will see him next week if everything works out. And don't forget, game night, 25th. We'll see you there. Bye.
I have nothing more to teach you. The rest